Hello, I'm Christine Franklyn, an executive wellness coach who loves to make healthy living easy for busy individuals.
And my name is Silvana Siskov. I'm a health coach, nutritionist, and I wrote lots of books focusing on health and weight loss and nutrition. And today we are going to talk about best diets versus worst diets.
This
And
is a good
this is going to
one.
be a good one. So, Christine, do you want to start and say a little bit about what are best diets in your opinion?
Oh, yes. For me, and this is what I recommend for my clients as well, the best diets are the ones that are not restrictive, which pretty much excludes most diets, except for having a regular balanced diet based on real food. So there are many diets out there. You know, we hear about the low fat diet, the low carb diet, the keto diet, the whole 30 diet, the paleo diet. There's so many. And, you know, I don't knock anyone specifically, but typically, if you find that the diet is giving you everything you need and all food groups are included, then and you know all your nutrients, all your macronutrients, all your micronutrients are included, and there's nothing being cut out altogether, then that's a good diet. So anything that emphasizes real food, clean eating, and includes all food groups, I would say typically is on the right path to being a good diet. Of course, we need to know the details of it, but that's the basic premise for me. And it should not feel like you're restricting yourself and trying to force yourself to do it, because it's not going to be sustainable. Nobody likes to live that way. So let's be realistic and from the beginning choose something that is really workable and gives us everything we need, and we feel good when we finish eating according to whatever the diet is. If we don't feel energized, that means that something is lacking. So that's my criteria for good diets.
And as you said, I mean, bad diets usually they don't give our bodies what our bodies need, and also they're not sustainable.
Yes.
Yeah. So
what about the worst diets? What do you think are some of the criteria for bad diets?
Okay, so about bad diets, what we go here? I actually went on the internet and I checked I wanted to get some information about bad diets and the names of the bad diets. And some of them, actually most of them I've heard of. But there is one really interesting diet which we're going to talk about. But I want to mention quite a few of them that I actually got here. But to be honest, I mean, when I started to look at this, I think I could easily find 100 of bad diets. But we don't have a time to talk about all of it, so I just got a few here. So let's start with the first one, the apple cider vinegar diet.
Is there such a thing?
Yeah, actually, I did hear about it, and basically, what it means, you have 1 to 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar, mix it with water, and drink it before each meal. And
before each meal.
Yeah, and it helps with the weight loss, and apparently, and it helps with the balance in the blood sugar level, apparently. So, and I actually remember reading about this on a few Facebook groups about diabetes. And I remember exact words. Someone was saying that her father had diabetes, and he's been doing this for years and years, and it really helps balancing his blood sugar levels, which I don't know. I mean, I you know, it hasn't been proven in my opinion. But also what I want to say, if people really believe that apple cider vinegar can help them, then I would suggest just use it in your salad, rather than maybe drinking it before each meal. But anyway, I mean, this diet does exist and it's out there.
Oh, that is hilarious. Oh yeah, that is just too much hassle. First of all, who's going to remember to drink apple cider vinegar before every meal? And Can you imagine trying to do that for the rest of your life?
Yeah, exactly, for the rest of your life. So the second diet is grapefruit diet. Basically, again, it says that eat one grapefruit with every meal. I did actually hear about this diet some time ago. I wasn't familiar with eating one grapefruit with every meal, but I remember hearing about this, and people were saying, they basically tend to eat lots of grapefruit, kind of between each meal, which means like, well, 3-4 grapefruits a day. Apparently, grapefruit helps with fat loss. Yes, what do you think?
Well, I've heard about grapefruit helping with fat loss. It's really the alkalinity that helps your body process everything, and so you don't store fat. It's not something that I think people should overdo, because overdoing anything is never healthy. But eating it before every meal or with every meal, I think is a little bit crazy.
but also, if you're going to eat grapefruit with every meal or before every meal or a few times a day, and then you eat junk food, it's just not going to help. It's simply not going to help. It's not going to do anything for you.
Yeah, so true.
Right. Another one is cabbage soup diet. That's what I used to follow. That was my diet about 15 or whatever years ago. Yeah, cabbage soup diet. I used to have it for breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks. It was,
oh my gosh,
it was healthy, but just not sustainable. You can't spend the rest of your life just eating cabbage.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's not sustainable. The next diet, I actually haven't heard of this before. It's interesting. It's called the 5-bite diet. The 5-bite diet is skip breakfast and drink only black coffee. Eat whatever you want for lunch and dinner, but you can have only 5 bites per meal.
Okay, so 5 bites of what exactly? So what are we eating in this meal? There's no criteria.
You can eat whatever you like, but you eat 5 bites.
And 5 bites. So how did they arrive at 5 bites?
I suppose it's easy to remember.
5 bites of chocolate cake is not the same as 5 bites of salmon.
Well, that is the diet out there, yes.
Oh, wow.
Then another one is zero sugar diet. Right. So the problem with this diet is that if it's zero sugar diet, then that means that you are removing fruits and vegetables from your diet, because there is quite lots of sugar in fruits and veggies, but especially in fruits, and that's not good for anyone. Have a 10 days sugar-free detox. That's completely different from zero sugar diet. And also, a low sugar diet or trying to reduce the sugar, that's all fine. But zero sugar diet, it could be dangerous if that includes removing fruits and vegetables.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
And, as I said before, every food group has a purpose, and sugar also has a purpose, because that's what we use for energy. We just need to make sure that we monitor carefully the amount of daily intake that we have of sugar in different forms. And that's usually where people have issues, because we don't realize what sugar's in and how much we're really consuming and so on. But to remove it altogether is definitely way too restrictive. It's not going to do the body good. And you'll probably find that you will lack energy.
Yeah, because there is a big difference between natural sugar and added sugar.
Yeah.
So when we are talking about sugar from fruits, that's a natural sugar. And added sugar is a completely different. Added sugar, we are talking about chemicals.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So the next diet is basically it's called the Master Cleanse, and that's a liquid only diet for 10 days. You can drink only lemonade, salt water drink, or herbal tea, and no solid foods.
Okay.
Which, in my opinion, could be, well, quite dangerous.
Yes, you're not getting any fiber. That's for
Well,
sure.
yeah, no fiber.
So your
yeah,
digestion working then?
yeah, and I presume you're not gonna have much energy if you follow this diet for 10 days.
Yes.
Because there is nothing really there to give you energy. A lemonade, salt water drink, and yeah, herbal tea, no solid foods.
It sounds like punishment.
Yeah, I know. Another fad diet that we have here is, oh, this is interesting. I actually haven't heard of this one before, is the baby food diet. Eat 10 to yeah, and what it is, eat 10 to 15 jars of baby food for breakfast and lunch. And that's it. So basically, you know, if people follow this kind of diet, they're not taking enough calories, enough fat, enough protein, enough nothing. Because babies' metabolism and babies' needs for food is totally different from ours.
Wow.
So yeah, 10 to 15 jars of baby food for breakfast and lunch. So I presume nothing for dinner. I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah, they're very specific, but interesting.
Very. There's a reason why we have different foods that are appropriate, different, you know, calorie intake that's appropriate from each stage to the other of life, you know. There's a reason it's called baby food.
Yeah. And I have two more diets here. Another one is meal replacement shakes. Yes, I know lots of people doing this.
Goodness.
And the problem with this diet is that it's very easy to lose weight, but once you start eating solid food, it's very easy to put the weight back on. You know, and for that reason, I just wouldn't recommend it at all. And it's not sustainable. You can't spend the rest of your life just drinking liquids. And yeah, it just not something I would recommend.
And sometimes the ingredients or the balance of ingredients is questionable as well. So, you know, you might find that some of them are high in sugar. You know, you really have to be careful with what is in them and, you know, what your body's taking in total. So yeah, that can be problematic.
And the last diet I have here, it's interesting. It's dangerous, in my opinion. And it's called the cotton ball diet. And it's popular in a modern...
I'll try not to laugh.
You make me laugh just looking at you.
What? But yeah, continue.
Yeah, it's popular in the modeling industry. And what it is, cotton balls are soaked in juice or smoothies to make your stomach feel full so you don't feel hungry.
Oh my gosh.
And it's called the cotton ball diet. So yeah, it's I mean, I don't know what to say.
That is just incredible. I hope nobody actually did that. I'm sure some people did.
Well, it's popular in the modeling industry, so so it comes from there. So I presume, well, hopefully not now. Hopefully this was maybe the case like a long time ago. I'm hoping.
Yes, hopefully people know better now.
Yeah, so but yeah, it's there is a diet called the cotton ball diet. There is a diet out there.
It amazes me that someone sat and came up with that and people bought into it.
No. Yeah. Yeah, so that's it for today. Interesting.
Very. That's
Really interesting.
eye-opening and a little scary.
Yeah, really, really scary. But as you said at the beginning, I mean, the best diets are really just to eat healthy. People more or less, everybody knows what healthy diet is, more or
Yes.
less, and just go for it. Just eat healthy.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
I
So
agree.
yeah. So these are how many? About 10 diets I mentioned, and not a single one I would recommend.
Yeah, it's very questionable.
Yeah.
So what are we going to be talking about next week?
Oh, next week we'll talk about good nutrition advice versus bad nutrition advice.
Well, that follows on very nicely from this.
Very nice. So I'll see you next week.
See you then.
Bye.